This has been a very busy week as far as the news goes. Now, I want to put things into context because, this whole thing smells bad. So McCarthy is no longer our speaker. Trump has accepted the offer if they would like for him to be speaker. And with all that being said, apparently now there's no more Ukraine funding going on because of all of that. And they were looking for grants to be able to send to Ukraine. Zelensky was devastated. The world was about to end because we could not send more money to Ukraine. But you know what? For those of you who feel devastated about the money not going to Ukraine, do not let your hearts be troubled, because now we're sending $8 billion to Israel. Party is still on. So this is Mr. Netanyahu, giving a speech. I don't know exactly the time frame. I know it was within the first 12 hours of the news coming out, or I should say, the news saying events were happening.
אזרחי ישראל, אנחנו במלחמה, לא במבצע, לא בסבבים.
So, as you see, he's in portrayal and he's reading. We see that with his body because it goes with the word and it does not preempt the word. And when you are flowing in conversation, the body preempts the thought. So when it goes with the word, you know that there's no symmetry, there's no truth between body and mind. You know he's reading because you can track the eyes as they go across.
במלחמה. הבוקר חמאס פתח במתקפת פתע רצחני נגד מדינת ישראל.
You see it look down towards the words and look back up to the camera. Now he's not tight. There is no fear. And this is actually becoming the norm, that I have to describe what we're not seeing because it is so out of touch with proposed reality. We don't see the fear. We're not looking around for the threat. Because if we see what looks like to be the background, it's an open area. And if the reports were real, with the drones flying in and the Iron Dome no longer functioning, this would be an odd thing in reality.
ונגד אזרחיה. אנחנו בתוך זה משעות הבוקר המוקדמות. כינסתי את ראשי מערכת הביטחון. הנחיתי קודם כל לטהר את היישובים מהמחבלים שחדרו פנימה. הפעולה הזאת...
And this is where it started to get kind of odd. Because the mouth is starting to go up. The muscles in the face are starting to pull everything up. A smile. The lightness in the face. A smile is creeping through. Now, when I first watched this, I had to go back and sit there and see what he was getting so happy about. Terrorists? Shooting up communities? What in the actual world?
בצד בשעות הללו. במקביל הוריתי לבצע גיוס מילואים נרחב.
Now the smile has gone down. We're put on the serious face. So it's like, all right. Very light in the face as he talks about terrorists going through the communities and then back into seriousness. Now, the thing with the mind and body, the body is hard to control, which is why it gets so stiff when you're lying or being deceptive or you're in stress. And your first reaction is to run. You're trying to control it. It does not like to be controlled.
ולהשיב מלחמה שערה בעוצמה ובהיקף שהאויב לא הכיר. האויב ישלם מחיר שהוא לא ידע כמותו. אני קורא בינתיים לכל אזרחי ישראל להישמע בקפדנות להנחיות הצבא, להנחיות פיקוד העורף. אנחנו במלחמה.
So we don't see the smile much, but we also don't see that firm strength. So here we are talking about the retaliation that is coming. They will know a firefight. It will be the 3-day war. I'm ad-libbing here, please. No, he didn't say that. But it's that same fervor. And he's portraying strength. He's motioning with his hands, but it's not preempted. The body is not responding first to the thought. The body is just going with the words as portrayal. And you don't see the anger. Like if you sit there and hear that your neighborhood's being devastated, depending on the individuals, you'll get a range of emotions. They're not all the same, but basically you see fear, you see righteous anger, not just anger, but a righteous anger, annoyance, some irritability. You know, the stuff that says, I don't like this. I don't like the scenario. But with him, all we're getting is the portrayal of this is what we're going to do. And prior to that, we got the glee of the terrorists walking through the streets. Now, he did another presser at their command room. I'm going to assume it's like the bunker for their central command. And I mean that in a sense of what its capabilities are compared to the U.S.
מהבוקר מדינת ישראל נמצאת במלחמה. היעד הראשון שלנו הוא קודם כל לתאר את השטח מכוחות האויב שחדרו פנימה ולהשיב את הביטחון והשקט ליישובים.
Now he keeps touching this little book on his table. I don't quite know what it is. I don't think it's the Bible. It could be, but it doesn't really matter because the body is just saying this is portrayal. Again, it's not preempting the words. It's the after. Oh yes, I'm going to say the, so I'm going to emphasize the. It makes no sense. So we're in portrayal again.
שהותקפו. היעד השני במקביל הוא לגבות מחיר עצום מהאויב גם ברצועת עזה. היעד השלישי הוא לבצע
I don't understand the context of why we're not looking at the camera now. So before we were in betrayal, we made sure we read and we looked at the camera. And this time he's talking, he's not reading, but he's not looking up towards the camera. And I'm going to assume that he actually has to think out these words that are coming out of his mouth. And that's why the brain has to focus downward where there's nothing to distract it from what he's going to say.
זירות אחרות כדי שאיש לא יטעה ויעשה את הטעות להצטרף למלחמה הזאת. אנחנו במלחמה, במלחמה צריך לשמור על קור רוח. אני קורא לכל אזרחי ישראל להתאחד כדי להשיג את היעד העליון שלנו, ניצחון במלחמה.
So we don't see the glee in the face anymore. They are at war, but we do see the portrayal. And now at the very end of this, we do see some of the anger face, but it's not, I wouldn't say it was genuine because this kind of anger we should see through the whole thing, not just at the very end. And that says to me that it's portrayal. It's like you wouldn't, somebody slaps you in the face, you're not angry for that 1 second, and then everything's gleeful. But there are reports now that this is not just words out of his mouth as far as declaring war, that they have filed their Article 40, I believe is what it's called, and they are at war. And apparently it sounds like the rhetoric coming out that Gaza will be no more. And we'll probably send another $8 billion next week.
If you like it, please share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.